kitchen and water panels, obviously protecting water. You see some of the cooling parts here. Lots of scaffolding, of course. The device was started to be commissioned in the middle of 2014. I'll show you an initial movie of the assembly. Let's see. The device is consists of 5 modules. This is the first half module. This is nothingness, and the coils being threaded on it, one by one, on this special machinery, one after another. So there are 7 coils in one half module. The first half module is ready. This is somewhere else. Also into another half module, and then the cooling pipes are added. Now the entire module is ready. It's being lifted into the forest wall, comes into the vacuum vessel, the lower part of the vacuum vessel here. The top part is added, it's put into position, this is from above. It gives us the facility, and the after module coming into place. Here's another bit of the cryostat, that's the last module. Lots of scaffolding, lots of pipes, lots of force being welded, this is from above again, and you see that. So that took 10 years. That was 10 years in 1 minute. So then, about a year ago, the most dramatic moment, I think, of the commissioning came when they started cooling down the cryostat. So 530 tons of mass that is to be cooled to cryogenic temperatures, so 1.5 NRC cooling count. And then you hope that there are no cold leaks. And after all, there are 5,000 wells in the cryostat, and each of them one has to be timed. And cold leaks started, otherwise snapback. It is only appear when the device is cold, and disappear when you heat up the device to go look for them. But it all went very smoothly. In 1 month's time, they cooled down the device. The public was terribly nervous. And this was the final punch the following week, so to look at it, -7 millibars in pressure, no leaks. The word itself was in the cryostat. The word leaks in less critical components must be pump ducts that we knew could be repaired afterwards. So that only took a few weeks. And then in the summer, 2 pressures could be made. So we're going to see everything has been mounted with millimeter precision to make sure the magnetic field is as close as possible to the design value. And these have been measured. This shows basically close to principle. So here are the lines, of course, obviously. If you insert the cathode into a low pressure, but not desperately low pressure vessel, so you have some gas in it, you don't need much magnetic field. Inside the cathode, it will emit an electron beam along the beam, which you can detect. For instance, there's enough gas that gas will light up along the beam line, where the electrons travel. Or you can put a fluorescent rod intersecting the beam and make a quite high of the beam. Then you can swing the electron emitter and the fluorescent rod, and all happens. So this is the device. We have these manipulators. So you insert the cathode with one of them and a fluorescent rod, or not with the other one. And you see what the electron beam does. And you get pictures like this. So this is a picture of an electron beam propagating in the air, essentially moist air, at low pressure around the torus. It goes up around a mile, 25 times around the torus. You can actually see the magnetic field. These are the funny projections, so it looks like the sea lights are not here. So some of these pictures look really strange. So you can compare this with the predictions, of course. Or you can do it, you can have this fluorescent rod that lights up when the electron beam intersects it. And you can take pictures of these pillars and the fluorescent rod with long photographs to get pictures like this. So here you see magnetic field lines going around the torus, and then intentionally created magnetic island. Of 5 over 6 islands. This is when the winding number is exactly equal to 5 over 6. And this provides an extremely accurate measurement of that magnetic field line component, and the one is -5. To my knowledge, it's the first time that the topology of the magnetic field has been measured that accurate. The topology of it is magnetic field at 30 meters across, measured to this position. And you can, this is a consequence. So with experience, you can compare that with the calculations. The actual machine has carefully been scanned put into the computer, so it can calculate what the field looks like. And it equals exactly. And you can find that you can increase the current of the coils. The coils that have this huge forces. They don't, and they slightly become more planar as you increase the current. The state of lowest energy is a certain potential. That's what they want to be. And when you do that, when they become upplanar, that reduces the winding number, the rotational transport speed, and these islands move. The surface on which the winding number is equal to pi 6 moves outward when you do that. So this, here you see this ferromagnetic island with different field strengths. You see it moving out from the red one to the green one as it increases field strength. And you can compare that with the calculated elastic deformation of the coils. And see that they deform as you expect that they are properly bolted onto the central core structure. And that also agrees. So there's a finite element of all of these high aspects machine, but it's can be done. And then we finally, after waiting for 6 months or less, got the permission from the radiation protection authorities to have first plasma. So on the 9th of December, we had invited the press to come and look at our first plasma. We had made some the night before, actually. There were 11 cameras using the control room, so it's so this is the first plasma. The temperature of 80 degrees under the E. Last time was 20 degrees. So there are lots of impurities, there are lots of also impurities in the walls that you need to get rid of by successive plasma. So those impurities flow into the plasma and it extinguishes after a while. This is a movie. It's very tame. It's from last week of the Royal Crucial plasma. You see the plasma rotating like this, so this is back from hydrogen and from one of the impurities that move inwards and eventually extinguish the plasma. So, my final view graph of this is the family achieved today as of yesterday or so. So the heating power is up to 5 megawatts. It will be much higher in the future. Plasma lifetimes are now 15 months longer than the best. That's the gets cleaner and cleaner. And then from temperatures up to 8 kilowatts. High temperatures about the 10th that. So all the heating is in the electron channel and the ions get heated by the electrons. Because of the large mass ratio, the temperature for the breaking time before the electrons and ions is longer than the discharge times in the time. Density is up to 10 to the 20. So this is an example of a series of temperature and density profiles across the plasma. So you see in the beginning, we have temperature like that, and then the temperature rises. The density first goes up and then goes down. So the best plasma after 200 milliseconds or so is the slight blue one, where you have the first 10 to the 20 with this when part is the cubic meter. So that's just what you want for fusion. You want it to be about 3 much hotter than we have here. So you see the temperature there being about 4 kilowatts. So for those of you who are plasma physicists, we may even see the finite pressure for the plasma making the standard for the plasma shift. Because this channel is a very high temperature than it's showing. So to summarize then, the generator concept will now be put together in this test and the balance of this. The device will be complete, the commission has taken into operation. Also, we will have the first hydrogen plasmas next week. We might have the physical chemist to push the button. We hope that this will verify that the fusion rate plasma contains the last chemical device. It will be very interesting to compare confinement, turbulence, and general performance in that of other fusion processes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the German Chancellor, Dr. Aderkant. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Please welcome our Chancellor, Dr. Angela Merkel. Madam Chancellor, I'm very pleased that you will be igniting the very first hydrogen plasma that Einstein 7X. Now, you'll be aware of the fact that we have to test plasmas with helium, but today we want to direct our scientific efforts to the main cause of our research, hydrogen plasma. I'd like to welcome the Premier of Mecklenburg-Western Pomerania, Mr. Zellering. I'd also like to welcome the Mayor of the University of Connecticut, Dr. Dr. Fastenthal. Madam Chancellor, the Premier, I'd like to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to you personally and to your government for the support of our research and the Wendelstein 7X. To the German Minister of Education and Research, the representative Parliamentary Secretary Müller, is here, and I'd like to welcome him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a particular pleasure to have as a host, if you like, the president of the Max Planck Society, Professor Martin Strackmann. Our institute is, of course, a Max Planck Institute, but it's also associated with the association, the Helmholtz Association of German Research Centers, and I'd like to welcome the Helmholtz Association President, Mr. Wiesler. Professor Wiesler, Martin, I'd like to thank you very much for your support. I'd also like to welcome the members of the German Parliament, Dr. Lenzer, Dr. Lietz, Minister Peke, as well as a member of the European Parliament, Mr. Kuhn, and a member of the State Assembly, Dr. Schenker, and Mr. Esko. The Lenzstein 7X project also received a great deal of financial support and other support from the European Commission. The European Commission has contributed 20% of the total cost of the Lenzstein 7X project. And I'm very pleased that we have the Director General for Research and Innovation with us, Mr. Robert Janssen. From the Scientific Council, I would also like to welcome the Director General of the ITER project, Professor Bernard Bigot, the President of the Leibniz Association, Professor Kleiner, the Dean of the Ernst Moritz Arndt University of Brussels, Professor Weber, President of the German Physical Society, Professor Kubrick, and my predecessors, Professor Tinkow and Bradshaw. Many institutes and colleagues have contributed to the success of the Wendelstein 7X. For example, our colleagues in the US have contributed components to the Wendelstein 7X worth $20 million. And I would like to express my gratitude to the US government, the Department of Energy, and I'd like to also welcome the Associate Director of Science, Fusion Energy Sciences of the Department of Energy, Dr. Edward Nikowski. Our Polish colleagues have helped us a great deal as well. The Polish government at the very beginning saw this project as their own and contributed us with seconding staff and other payments in kind worth 10 million euros. Thank you. And of course, we have a very special relationship to our colleagues in the Helmholtz Association. The two research partner institutes were involved in this in Jülich and the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, who contributed components, magnetic field components, and others to the contribution of the plasma heating. So Professor Deutsch from the Jülich Center and Dr. Dikhan from the KIT, I'd like to express my gratitude to you now. And I'm also pleased that so many heads of European research labs have come along here today, working together with the program manager of the Eurofusion Consortium, Professor Tony Garnett, just representative of all the others. I'd like to welcome him. I'd also like to express my gratitude to all of the representatives of this industry, because to be perfectly frank, without them we'd never have managed it. At some point I'm going to have to stop thanking everyone, so I'm just going to show you our Hall of Fame, where we've written all the important scientific corporation parties and industrial companies involved in this, so they are not forgotten. Now, of course, I'm going to not do myself any favors here. If you discover that we've left out a name, just let us know. Me, specifically. We're very pleased that together with partners we can run the new experiment, and as you know, we want to make the source of energy of the sun and the stars usable on Earth. The sun hydrogen nuclei fuse into helium. What we're trying to do on Earth here is something slightly different though. We want to fuse deuterium and tritium into helium. Deuterium is available in our oceans in sufficient quantities, and tritium is something we would breed in a future power plant out of out of lithium rather. What makes this experiment so interesting is that it's incredibly efficient. If you just take a few buckets of water that you find in a laptop battery, you can generate as much power as you would generate from 40 tons of coal. So to do it, you need temperatures of around 200 million degrees. 10 times hotter than the sun. At temperatures like these, the material becomes a plasma, and this is why we're the Max Planck Institute of Plasma Physics. And in order to contain plasma like this, we create a magnetic field change. And there are two options available. The tokamak and accelerator, and I'm not going to bore you with the details, but just take my word for it, accelerators can give you continuous operation, and that's what you want. But naturally, there's often a lot of criticism about the fact that it takes such a long time until we'll be actually able to harness fusion energy, and I understand you patients. I'm a patient myself. But we're often criticized for not making progress fast enough, but that's only to a certain extent. It's not to about 200 million degrees, but we even achieve 400 and 500 million degrees. And the parameters upon which you would measure success we've exceeded by 100,000 times. It's about the factor 10. And now, in ITER, for example, they managed to put in 10 times more energy than to put in there. But if you look at the tokamak, all of the dots on the screen are tokamak. So the blue ones, there's a couple missing here. The Wendelstein 7X is going to catch up with all the tokamak. So watch this space. I'd like to conclude at this point, ladies and gentlemen, by expressing my gratitude to all of our staff, for without them we'd never have managed to achieve the success we've achieved so far. We'd never have the Einstein 7X, not least through the excellent ranking of the Institute by the Scientific Advisory Board of the Max Planck Society, as well as the excellent results that we've achieved in the program-oriented funding of the Health Association, where the Fusion program was ranked as the best program for energy research. So thanks to everyone's support on this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you an impression now in a little film of the assembly, and after that, State Premier Sullivan will speak to you, and he will be followed by the German Chancellor. Madam Chancellor, MPs, the European Parliament, the German Parliament, the Bundestag, the State Premier, Prime Minister Secretary Müller, Director General Schmidt, President Stratmann, President Wiesler, Justice Minister Dr. Hilbert, Mayor Fassbinder, Professor Duncan. This is very impressive images that we've just seen. It's truly a fascinating project. Many of those in this room have been watching its progress for a number of years now, and just seeing how it's put together like that in slow motion was very impressive. Fast forwarded, if you like, I have to say that all of the impressive things that the engineers and scientists from across the globe have managed to achieve here in a number of years, not least increasing competition for some of the companies in this region were involved. It's very impressive. I'm very pleased about it all. It was May last year that we celebrated its completion, or May 2014 rather, and then last year on the 10th of December we saw that this huge, futuristic-looking apparatus actually works. And the very first helium plasma was produced in the Wendelstein facility. Media from across the world, not just in Germany, reported on these huge events here in Greifswald, a great success. And now we're celebrating the next major step here in the Wendelstein in Greifswald, fusion research, the production of the first hydrogen plasma. Let's congratulate everyone involved in the process. What we're going to see here in terms of the experiments that will take place here are ones we're all looking at with. It's simply fascinating. The vision, of course, and the hope that one day hydrogen plasma will be able to use to generate power is very impressive. The green energy and the results that you're going to be achieving, the experiences you'll be gaining in the coming years in plasma research in Greifswald are ones that are important for the entire international fusion community. And of course, I'm very pleased that this is taking place here in Greifswald, in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Pomerania. The fact that our scientists are positioning themselves internationally in such an excellent way and attracting minds to Greifswald as a research and educational location across this border. The fact that you have such intelligent cooperative ties to the university research and teaching community as well means that you're strengthening Greifswald and raising its profile as a research location even more. The fact that this is possible and that there are some excellent jobs created here is the renewable pioneer. As a federal state, we've seen the real opportunities that we have here our federal state is very much involved in developing innovation here. In the meantime, we cover our entire power requirements from renewable energy, and we are hoping in the long term to produce 4 or 5 years after the decommissioning of the nuclear power plant in the south of the country, we will be able to supply with power. So when it comes to the generation and feeding in of renewable energy, we are the pioneers, and we're very much adding in the peak of success here, the top-level research of the benchmark 76, with important impulses for the energy research of the future, and this is why we will continue to support this important research. The basic research carried out here is a long-term investment, so that in the future as well we will be able to meet the increasing energy demands of humanity worldwide. You've overcome a number of difficulties already. The Chancellor's been over here a few times now. We talked about some of the difficulties.